Before sunrise, an angel will pass a message through time. It will not repeat. If you skip this, you may never get this. Before the light ever touches the earth, before the sound of man awakens the city gates, there is a moment, a sacred moment, a moment hidden in stillness, suspended in silence, cloaked beneath the veil of sleep. This moment is not marked by clocks or calendars. It is measured only in obedience, in sensitivity, in spiritual alertness. This is the moment that heaven has chosen. Before sunrise, there are hours, even minutes, when the Spirit of the Lord moves differently, and this is one of them. There is a divine alignment taking place right now, and you, yes you, have been positioned by the hand of God to receive something eternal. A whisper from the wings of the angelic realm is being dispatched. Not loudly, not with thunder, but with precision and with purpose. One angel, one message, one appointed soul. This message is not for everyone. No, it is not cast before the multitudes like seed in the wind. It is preserved for the spiritually sensitive. It is marked for those who do not sleep through the shaking, for those who can feel the stir in the silence, for those who know when something beyond the veil is pressing in. And you, beloved, are among them. This moment is selective. This moment is sacred. The angel has already been dispatched. Heaven has already written your name on the scroll of this message. This is not a general broadcast. This is not a repeating signal. What is about to be released is singular in its nature. Once passed, it will not return. If you ignore this, if you delay, if you brush off the inner pull, you may never receive this instruction again. This is not fear. This is truth. Prophetic truth. Weighty truth. Urgent truth. For there is something heaven sees in you, something set apart, something preserved, something appointed. You have been chosen to hear this before the world awakens. While others sleep, you're being summoned. While others scroll, you're being stirred. The timing is not random. It is divine. You have crossed into the watch where angelic messages flow like oil from the throne. Stillness is now your strategy. Silence is your posture of power. Obedience is the key that unlocks what is about to be spoken. Not reaction, not striving, not noise, but surrender. Before sunrise, a sacred exchange is scheduled. If you miss it, it will not wait for your convenience. If you delay, it will not circle back. And so, heaven leans low in this hour. The angel is near. The time is now. The message is coming. Will you be still enough to receive it? Will you be sensitive enough to catch the whisper that carries your next assignment? This is your moment. This is your signal. This is your one-time visitation. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Before the sun spills over the horizon, before your body even fully awakens, the Spirit of the Lord speaks. And He does not speak in vain. No, He sends His word like fire through the silence, like thunder beneath your skin. Before sunrise, this is the moment He has appointed. Not by chance, not by coincidence, but by divine intelligence. You are not scrolling by accident. You are not hearing this by mistake. Heaven has orchestrated this divine encounter through time itself. A message is being passed through dimensions, from eternity to now, from heaven to earth, from the mouth of the angel to the depths of your soul. The archangel Michael stands near, sword drawn, wings spread wide, sent not to startle you, but to stir you, sent not to entertain, but to announce. sent not with empty ritual, but with divine assignment. The hour before sunrise has been marked. You have been marked. Do you feel it? You sense the shifting. The sudden stillness around you is not random. It's prophetic. The quiet is not an absence of activity. It is a divine setup for clarity. Michael speaks not through wind, but through revelation. His voice carries the weight of heaven's order. Hear now, you chosen one. You appointed soul. You spiritually marked and divinely protected vessel. This moment will not repeat. This word is alive. This word is precise. This word is time-sensitive. You have been intercepted, not interrupted. Heaven has paused your atmosphere so you can receive what others will miss. Do not brush this off. Do not scroll past this as if it is ordinary. There is nothing ordinary about what is happening right now. The Spirit is whispering, not shouting, because this message is not for those who only listen to loudness. This message is for the ones who can hear God in the hush. This is for the soul that can discern fire even in stillness. The chosen always hear Him before the crowd catches on. And you, yes, you, are chosen. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You have not missed your timing, but you are in the final hour of a divine window. The scroll has been sealed with your name. This is not a broadcast to the masses. This is a message passed through time, designed to meet you before the sun rises, because what is about to rise in you is greater than what will rise in the sky. Archangel Michael has not come with pleasantries. He has come with urgency, with clarity, with strategy. He has come to reveal the next instructions that your spirit has been groaning for. You felt it, haven't you? The restlessness, the unease, the knowing without doing. Heaven has watched your obedience even in silence. Heaven has recorded your loyalty even in pain. And now, just before the earth awakens, God awakens you. Do not resist the tug. Do not delay your posture. The heavens are waiting for one thing, your stillness. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is strategy. Stillness is a weapon. The enemy panics when you don't respond emotionally. The adversary flees when you refuse to speak from your flesh. The greatest authority is released in stillness, because that is where God speaks with thunderous clarity. This message is not designed to impress your intellect. It is forged to impact your spirit, to penetrate beneath logic, to shake you out of casual complacency and awaken your divine alertness. You must realize, this visitation is rare. This word will not circle back. You must respond in the moment of spiritual visitation. Obedience delayed is still disobedience. Sensitivity ignored is still pride. But surrender now, and all of heaven will align to your next assignment. You were never meant to miss this. Your name was whispered in the corridors of heaven before this moment arrived. That is why the angel stands now, at the edge of your atmosphere, ready to deposit divine intelligence, ready to stir your memory, ready to confirm what your spirit has already suspected, that you are not who you were last season, that your silence has power, that your stillness has purpose, that your story is shifting. Heaven is not shouting. Heaven is whispering, and this whisper will not repeat. You must hear it now. You have been chosen to hear before others understand. You have been appointed to receive before others awaken. You are not lost. You are not left out. You are not late. You are being led into the moment that shifts everything. The message is coming before sunrise, and it is yours. Don't miss it. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There's been something off, hasn't there? A sensation that doesn't quite have words, but it lingers. A strange fog around your emotions. You've been sensing things without being told. You've been feeling energy shift when certain people walk in or when certain names come up. Conversations have felt coded. Eyes have looked at you differently. You smiled, but something behind the smiles of others has felt wrong, disconnected, too controlled. It's not paranoia. It's not overthinking. It's spiritual disruption. It's a divine signal interrupting the patterns of your emotional atmosphere. The unease you've felt lately is not random. That sudden withdrawal from people you once trusted, that hesitancy to share what's on your heart, that caution around familiar faces, it's not weakness. It's wisdom. It's discernment being heightened by heaven. The angel that has been dispatched is already stirring the unseen. You're not just reacting emotionally. You're responding spiritually. There's a reason the same faces that once comforted you now confuse you. There's a reason you've grown quieter even though the noise around you has grown louder. There's a reason heaven has drawn you into silence, because too many eyes are watching, but not all with love. You are in the eye of something bigger. There's a tension you've walked into, but it didn't begin with you. Something has been brewing behind your back, whispered in rooms where your name was spoken but your spirit wasn't honored. Something hath been circling, trying to destabilize your peace, trying to make you question what you know deep down. But you must hear this. Your soul is not unsettled for no reason. A disturbance is a divine disturbance, is a spiritual interruption sent to shift your attention. Heaven has seen what you cannot. Heaven has heard what they will not admit. Heaven has sent an angel to pull you into higher discernment. You're not crazy. You're not overthinking. The confusion you feel has been engineered to push you to clarity. You have been marked by mystery, not the kind that leaves you afraid, but the kind that leaves you searching deeper, watching closer, praying more intentionally. You felt like something is going on behind your back, and you're right. There are things being said, alliances being formed, plans being made, but none of it will prosper. Still, you are being prepared, not for confrontation but for revelation. The angel sent to you before sunrise carries not just a message, but a veil lifting. You are being escorted into a deeper level of insight. What was once hidden will begin to surface. And not because people confess, but because heaven exposes. Not through arguments, but through quiet confirmation. You won't need to fight to uncover it. The truth will break through the surface by itself. Your only assignment is to stay aware, to let the spiritual unease guide your observation, not your reaction. The phrase keeps echoing. They know something but not all. There's partial awareness in those around you. Some suspect you're changing. Some sense your authority rising. Some feel that heaven is repositioning you, but they don't yet understand what God is doing behind your silence. And that is why your silence feels so disruptive. That is why your presence feels so unsettling to them. Because your stillness is threatening. Because your peace is piercing the noise of their plans. There's been a tension that doesn't make sense. People getting distant. People acting oddly around you. Certain atmospheres feeling off. But let me tell you this. You are not in the wrong place. You are not surrounded by the wrong storm. You are in the exact environment heaven needed to interrupt. The emotional disruptions, the betrayals, the awkward silences, they are all proof that something is shifting. Proof that something is surfacing. Proof that heaven is exposing hidden dynamics so that you can be preserved in the days to come. You're not meant to chase clarity from people. You're meant to receive it from God. And this moment, this hour before sunrise, is heaven's interruption. To stop the noise, to slow your response, to amplify your discernment. You're not missing something, you're gaining something. Something holy, something strategic, something eternal. Let go of the need to be understood. Let go of the need to explain your silence. Heaven understands, and the angel standing near knows why the warfare has been emotional, why your rest has been disturbed, why your joy has flickered. It's not just life, it's layers. It's not just stress, it's spiritual setup. You are walking through a coded moment in time, a moment where every disruption is a direction, every feeling is a flag, every emotional signal is pointing you inward, toward a voice that will not shout, but will speak just before the sunrise. The message coming is not about what they said, it's about what heaven knows, and heaven knows everything. You're being spiritually interrupted because you're about to be divinely positioned. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more prophetic insights, exclusive messages, and divine encouragement tailored for your spiritual journey. Stay connected to the voice of destiny. Type "I am awakening" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7711 is now flowing around you. There is something sacred about the storm you've been walking through. It hasn't felt holy. It hasn't felt like favor. But make no mistake, it's been divine. The conflict, the confusion, the silence you've endured, it wasn't chaos for chaos' sake. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't karma. It was a qualification. It was heaven's refining fire. It was spiritual resistance sent to reveal your true spiritual rank. You haven't just been going through. You've been going up. You see, what's been happening to you has never really been about the people. It's never been about who left, who misunderstood you, or who tried to stir confusion around your name. It's always been spiritual. Always. The warfare was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to separate you. Separate you from old mindsets. Separate you from false alliances. Separate you from toxic cycles that wrap themselves in familiarity. And above all, it was meant to separate you for divine use. Heaven never sends all where there is no crushing. God never releases power without preparation. The attack you endured was proof that the anointing on your life carries weight. It carries value. Hell doesn't bother what it doesn't fear. And your recent battles were not random. They were recognition. You have been recognized in the Spirit. You have been noticed by heaven. And likewise, you've been targeted by darkness. But greater is the one who surrounds you. Look at what you've survived. Look at how you've stood, not always perfect, not always strong, but still standing. The silence you chose wasn't weakness. It was warfare. The fact that you didn't react, didn't defend yourself, didn't match their energy, that was not you losing. That was you aligning with heaven's strategy. That was the angel of the Lord fighting while you stood still. That was your obedience speaking louder than your need to be understood. And heaven saw it. Every tear you hid, every injustice you swallowed, every moment you wanted to retaliate, but instead you prayed. Every night you wanted to give up, but you got up. Those moments were not ignored. They were recorded. They were marked, and they have now become your testimony. You have not been cursed. You have been called. You are not being punished. You're being positioned. The mess was not a mistake. It was a mechanism to push you out of complacency and into calling. Even your enemies were used as tools. Even the betrayal was a divine lever to shift your season. You must see the battle for what it was, an invitation into greater authority. You were never meant to fight like others fight. You were never meant to defend yourself in the ways the world defends. That's why it felt so different. That's why nothing normal seemed to work. That's why the advice others gave didn't fit your spirit. Because this was a consecrated conflict. This wasn't a breakdown. This was a breakout. You are in the middle of being spiritually marked for elevation. And conflict is part of the criteria. Not comfort. Not applause. But conflict. The enemy sees who you're becoming before you fully know it yourself. That's why your life has been under surveillance. That's why your atmosphere has felt watched. It's why your every move lately seems to echo in realms you cannot see. Heaven has been watching, yes, but so has hell. And both realms know something is about to shift through you. You've cried and called it unfair. You've questioned and called it confusing. But what you've walked through was confirmation that your spirit is not common. The fire hath been hot, because the metal being refined in you is rare. Gold must be melted before it shines. And you, dear chosen one, have been melting in secret so that you can shine in authority. And now, here's what heaven wants you to know. Your identity has never been what your struggle tried to define. You are not the rejected one. You are not the abandoned one. You are not the overlooked one. You are the appointed one. The one who was forged in fire. The one who was weaned in warfare. The one who had been chosen not despite the conflict, but because of it. The Spirit of the Lord declares, you were not cursed. You were called. You were not broken. You were being built. You were not cast aside. You were being carved into something rare. This is why the angel was sent before sunrise. To help you reframe what you thought was failure. To help you remember that what looked like loss was actually launching. You have been in a sacred season of testing. And the results are in. You didn't fail. You didn't fold. You didn't fall away. You passed. Not with loud declarations. Not with public vindication. But with private obedience. And now, heaven is leaning forward to say, well done. The next assignment is always to hear. The conflict didn't come to break you. It came to birth you. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8888 is now unfolding over your life. Hear this with the weight it deserves. Something is approaching. Something is shifting toward you. And it will not wait for your full understanding. Within the next 72 hours, a convergence is scheduled. It is not visible yet in the natural, but in the spirit. The movement has begun. The air around you will change. The frequency of certain voices will shift. A ripple in the unseen will press its way into the seen, and this ripple is not random. This is heaven's alarm sounding in a soft voice. The angel who stands at your door, dispatched before the sunrise, does not come only to comfort. This is not a message of calm alone. It is a warning. It is a divine heads-up. There is a confrontation being stirred. A force, a person, a spirit, is making its move toward your space. It is not yet fully manifested, but its feet are already walking toward your path. You can feel it, can't you? The heaviness in the air, the strange resistance. The restlessness that won't let you sleep without waking in intervals. It's not just stress. It's spiritual pressure building toward a moment of testing. And the Lord says, I will not let this catch you unaware. That is why this message had been passed through time. That is why the angel has interrupted your flow before the sun breaks the sky. The next 3 days are not ordinary. The next 72 hours are pregnant with tension, but also with destiny. You must not respond as you have in past seasons. You must not defend what God is already handling. You must not fear what heaven already saw coming. The enemy has a plot, but heaven has already released a plan. Understand this. The adversary knows you're on the edge of something irreversible. A promotion. A breakthrough. A healing. A door. Something sacred is being unlocked. And because of this, a counter move is being deployed. It may come dressed as a conversation. It may appear as a subtle misunderstanding. It may disguise itself as a request for closure or clarity. Do not be deceived. This is not about resolution. This is about distraction. This is not a coincidence. This is an attempted collision. What's coming is not stronger than you, but it is cunning. It will test your emotional temperature. It will search for access points. It will try to press on wounds you've healed from. It will attempt to reroute your focus by making you feel small again, unworthy again, confused again. But hear the voice of the Lord clearly. This is the hour to stand still and let heaven fight. The reason for this divine warning is simple: to prepare and preserve you. This message is your spiritual strategy. It is not meant to frighten you. It is sent to fortify you. God does not give warnings where there is no value. The very fact that you are receiving this now is proof that your life carries impact, that your decisions in this moment matter in eternity, that your obedience will either open or close what comes next. And heaven is offering this. If you will listen, if you will remain still, if you will not be baited into emotional warfare, the confrontation will collapse under the weight of its own deception. The trap will spring, but it will not hold you. The weapon may be formed, but it will not prosper. Your silence will be your shield. Your discernment will be your defense. Your obedience will be your covering. This is the power of pre-battle strategy. The angel of the Lord has not waited until the storm to speak. He has arrived before sunrise, because timing is everything. If you wait to respond in the moment of chaos, you may falter. But if you anchor yourself now in stillness, in surrender, in prophetic clarity, you will rise through it untouched. This is not just another test. This is a final gate before the next level. And yes, the pressure will rise. The enemy always tightens grip before he loses it completely. The conversations may get strange. The attitudes may shift. People who were silent may suddenly reappear. Unfinished business may try to drag you backward. But resist the urge to engage. This is not your fight. This is your fast. This is your moment to fast from reaction, from over-explaining, from justifying, from trying to be understood. Let heaven defend you. Let the angel go before you. You are not walking into the unknown unguarded. You are walking with divine surveillance surrounding you. What you do not see, the Spirit sees. What you do not hear, the angel hears. And even what you do not understand in this hour, heaven is working through for your favor. That's why you're being pulled into silence. That's why you're being awakened before others rise. Because what you're about to be spared from will prove the power of this very word. Mark it now. In the next 72 hours, something will try to surface. But you are already ready. You are already covered. You are already surrounded. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing code 4646 is now shielding your path. Now, hear this and let it settle deep within your soul. The battle coming is not yours. The pressure building is not yours to resolve. The words swirling, the energy shifting, the subtle spiritual attacks forming, they are not asking for your defense. They are not waiting on your voice. They are not authorized to pull you out of position. Heaven has already released the only strategy you will need: withdraw. Stay silent. Observe deeply. And let the hand of the Lord do what only He can do. In this hour, stillness is not passivity. Stillness is power. Stillness is warfare. Stillness is the confirmation that you trust the throne more than you trust your tongue. There is an anointing reserved for the ones who do not react. A mantle given to those who wait while others war in the flesh. And heaven is calling you into that posture now, because what you're about to walk into cannot be touched by panic. It must be approached with precision, with poise, with prophetic awareness. You're going to feel the pull to speak. You're going to feel the pressure to respond, to explain, to clear the air. Build. You're going to be tempted to defend what God is already vindicating. Resist it. This is not about looking weak. This is about proving where your trust resides. There's something sacred about restraint in the spirit. When you don't move at the sound of trouble, when you don't shift at the rise of chaos, when you don't react to the accusations that swirl in the darkness, heaven interprets that stillness as strength. This is what the angel was sent to remind you, that the loudest battle is often won in the quietest moment, that the fiercest warfare is often waged not with words, but with wisdom. And wisdom in this season will look like non-engagement. Not silence as avoidance, but silence as strategy. Your quiet is not neglect. It's discernment. It is divine cooperation with a plan bigger than your emotions. Remember this: heaven fights when you don't. The less you speak, the more angels are released to speak for you. The less you explain, the more heaven exposes what was hidden. The less you push, the more God positions. This is not about withdrawing in fear. This is about retreating into the shelter of the Most High. This is about stepping back into the secret place, where no weapon formed can reach you, where no voice of accusation can access you. Your silence is not empty. It is full of power. Every moment you choose not to respond to pettiness, you activate angelic protection. Every time you hold your tongue when slander arises, you unlock divine authority. The gates of heaven swing open wide for those who choose to stand under the banner of obedient stillness. You don't have to fight like the world fights. You don't have to clap back, prove a point, or show them your strength. Let them underestimate you, because what's surrounding you cannot be seen by human eyes. You are cloaked in glory, surrounded by fire, guarded by the same God who shut the mouths of lions and parted the sea with wind. That God, your God, is the one who fights when you don't. And now, He is saying, step back. Let me step in. It may feel unnatural at first, because everything in your soul wants to speak. But in this moment, your voice must go silent so heaven's hand can go loud. Let them wonder why you're not reacting. Let them try to stir you. Let them question your calm. Because every time they do, they give God more room to perform on your behalf. And what He will do, no one will be able to deny. Now listen carefully. The silence you enter now will not be indefinite. This is not about becoming voiceless. This is about becoming wise. This is about understanding that your silence is not the absence of power, but the placement of power. When God is ready, He will give you the words to speak. When the moment is divine, he will open your mouth like a sword. But not now. Not in this window. Right now. Silence is your signal to heaven. Right now. Stillness is your strength. Right now. Peace is your position of power. So breathe. Pull back. Observe everything. Speak little. Let God speak loudly. Watch who reveals themselves when you stop sharing. Watch what falls apart when you stop participating. Watch what God protects you from when you stop trying to fix it in your own strength. This is your sacred instruction. Withdraw, stay low, walk soft, speak slow. Stay under the radar of flesh, and walk boldly in the authority of the Spirit. Heaven is watching. Angels are warring. And all they need is your surrender. There is a shield forming around you as you obey. There is a cloak of peace being wrapped around your soul. This stillness is not a pause. It is a posture. It is the posture of the protected, the posture of the wise, the posture of those chosen for deeper revelation. God has seen the fire sent against you, and he has raised a wall no man can breach. Your assignment now is to trust the wall, trust the silence, trust the plan. Type "I trust God's plan" in the comments if you receive this instruction. Blessing code 3131 is now shielding your spirit. There is a sacred truth rising now from the ashes of your silence. You are not who they remember. You are not who they expect. You are not who you once were. Something has happened, not loudly, not publicly, but powerfully. There has been a shift in you, a divine evolution. You've walked through fires that left no mark on your skin but left a permanent inscription on your spirit. You've carried burdens that others never saw. You endured attacks you never reported. And in that hidden place, something holy awakened inside of you. Heaven has watched. The angels have kept record. And now, as the world begins to wonder what happened to the quiet one, to the humble one, to the easy target, a voice from the throne of God is proclaiming, they thought they knew you, but they knew an earlier version. They knew a past form. They knew the you who survived, but they don't yet know the you who has been reborn. You have changed. Not in the ways they expected, not in the ways they can categorize or control, but you've changed in essence, in nature, in strength, in vision. You don't talk the same. You don't react the same. You don't cry over what used to break you. You don't need validation the way you once did. And this shift, this holy transformation, wasn't triggered by applause or achievement. It was birthed in the stillness, forged in the fire, strengthened in the silence. You didn't need anyone to announce it. Heaven already had. The old version of you was a seed. The you that they talked down to. The you that begged for understanding. The you that tolerated mistreatment. That was a version who was planted. But the version they are seeing now, the version who walks quietly with power, who listens more than they speak, who discerns the spiritual atmosphere before stepping into a room, this version is the risen one. This is the sprouted seed, the evolved soul, the one that now walks in quiet dominion. And they don't know what to do with you anymore. They don't know how to provoke you. They don't know how to pull you back into cycles that you've already grown past. They can't manipulate what they can't measure. They can't guilt trip what God has already delivered. You are not broken. You are built. Not for revenge. Not for reaction. But for rulership. For impact. For legacy. You must understand, heaven has not been silent about you. While you've been in quiet rooms, fighting silent battles, praying wordless prayers. The voice of God has been speaking your name in holy places. Angels have been dispatched. Scrolls have been opened. Instructions have been written in the language of fire and wind. Because who you become in secret is about to be revealed in divine timing, and nothing can stop it now. You are not a victim. You are not beneath. You are not behind. You are becoming. Becoming fire. Becoming wings. Becoming voice. Becoming authority. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to force it. Heaven is doing the unveiling. Heaven is doing the revealing. Heaven is shifting how you are seen in the realm of the Spirit, and soon the earth will catch up. Don't apologize for how much you've changed. Don't downplay your discernment. Don't suppress your voice to keep others comfortable. Your presence now carries weight. Your silence carries revelation. Your gaze carries knowing. You've become dangerous to darkness, and that's why the enemy is trying to pull you back into old emotions, into old wounds, into old wars. But you've been delivered, and not just delivered, you've been promoted. God did not preserve you just to maintain who you used to be. He preserved you because your future voice will be necessary in the places you're about to enter. You're not just carrying an anointing. You are the anointing. You're not just going to speak prophecy. Your very life has become a walking, breathing prophecy. A declaration to every principality and demon that tried to take you out that you are still here. Stronger, wiser, clothed in glory, covered in fire. Let this become your new declaration. I am not who they think I am anymore. Because you're not. That soft-spoken vessel has grown wings. That wounded heart has become a warrior. That uncertain mind has become a divine instrument of clarity. You're no longer surviving what once almost killed you. You're ruling over what once ruled you. You're flying above what once buried you. God says, I didn't bring you this far to watch you blend in. I transformed you so you could stand out, not in pride, but in purpose. That's why you're different. That's why certain rooms now feel too small. That's why certain friendships feel misaligned. That's why certain conversations now feel spiritually dry. You've grown. And not everyone was meant to grow with you. The silence that surrounded you in the last season wasn't rejection. It was resurrection. It was the sound of wings unfolding. It was the stillness that comes before a soul takes flight. You are rising. You are emerging. And this time, no one will be able to deny the oil, the fire, the favor, or the transformation that covers you now. Type I am risen in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 5454 is now unfolding around your transformation. Now comes the unveiling. Now comes the scroll. Now comes the moment when the mystery gives way to meaning and the silence gives birth to sound. Heaven did not allow you to walk through all that you endured without purpose. God did not permit the emotional storm, the spiritual isolation, the strange behaviors, or the sudden separations without divine strategy. It was never just life being hard. It was never just people being people. No, it was the evidence of a holy disruption, a prophetic rearranging, a spiritual construction site built around your destiny. What was the reason? Why the isolation? Why the spiritual fog? Why the pain? Why the strange resistance from people who once loved you? Why the delay in answers you prayed so hard to receive? Why the tension behind the scenes? The sense that something was being held back just out of reach? Here is the answer, because you were being repositioned for a divine promotion. What has been moving behind the veil was never meant to make sense to your natural mind. It was designed to stretch your spirit. God was preparing your soul for a shift that had to be hidden. Not because you weren't ready, but because those around you weren't ready to see you differently. And so heaven concealed the process, cloaked the fire, hid the transformation, protected the change until it was time to release it into the open. This is the hour of release. This is the moment where heaven peels back the curtain and says, "Now you will see why it all had to happen. Now you will understand why God allowed the betrayal, why the relationships fell apart, why the door didn't open when you thought it should, why the call seemed delayed. Because all along, you were not being denied. You were being divinely reserved. There was never a delay in God's calendar. There was only preparation. What you thought was silence was sanctification. What felt like abandonment was actually an angelic assignment. While you waited, heaven worked. While you wept, heaven wrote. Your name was etched in the scrolls of transition. You didn't miss the moment. You became the moment. And now the angel who came before sunrise has opened the scroll. The message is clear. You have been found ready. You are no longer in preparation mode. You are in prophetic release. Heaven is calling forth your name, not in fear, not in hesitation, but in fullness. You have passed the tests of silence, the fires of transformation, the gates of resistance, and now the announcement comes. You are about to be revealed. The spiritual promotion that has hovered over your life is no longer hovering. It is descending. Like rain on parched ground, like fire on a cold altar, like oil down the beard of the anointed. The wait is ending. The delay is breaking. The resistance is giving way to release. You are not being pulled backward. You are being activated. Let it settle in your spirit. This is what all the shaking was for. This is why the warfare was so strange. Why your sleep was interrupted. Why your name felt like it was under surveillance. Because heaven was preparing the scroll of your next. A divine document. A heavenly record. A spiritual unlocking. And now, that scroll is being unsealed. The angels know your name. Your file has been opened in the divine court. Your identity is no longer just known on earth. It is recognized in heaven. And not just recognized, but revered. Because you remained obedient when you were confused. You remained faithful when you were forgotten. You remained pure when you could have retaliated. You didn't bow to bitterness. You didn't sell your soul for attention. You held your peace, and now heaven is releasing power. This moment is not about reward alone. It's about reassignment. You are being reassigned to a new spiritual territory. What once overwhelmed you will now respond to you. What once resisted you will now release to you. You are being clothed in authority, not just for survival, but for service. You've been prepared to lead, to speak, to carry light into places still wrapped in shadow. You didn't go through all this to stay hidden. You went through it to walk in holy exposure. Heaven is not guessing. Heaven is not gambling. Heaven is sure of you. And because heaven is sure, earth will soon see. This revelation is not about ego. It is about identity. This is not about making a name. This is about carrying the name above every name, the name that walked you through fire and never left you. You are the chosen. You are the sealed. You are the risen. And now, you are being sent. If this word has stirred your spirit, if you feel heaven speaking through these very lines, we invite you to sow into this moment. Consider supporting with a super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your support helps us continue to speak messages from the throne room. and your generosity is deeply appreciated. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more divine messages, spiritual insights, and timely prophetic instructions. Stay connected. Your journey is just beginning. Type "I am activated" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 9900 is now flowing over your destiny. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when heaven no longer asks if you're ready. It simply commands you to rise. That moment, chosen one, is now. Not tomorrow. Not next month. Now. This is not just another confirmation. This is not just encouragement. This is activation. What you've been sensing in the spirit, the tension, the pressing, the inner urgency, is the voice of destiny whispering louder than ever, say yes. Step out. Move now. Heaven is waiting. Yes, heaven is waiting. And not for your perfection. Not for your qualifications. Not for your full understanding. Heaven is waiting for your yes. The yes that doesn't need all the details. A yes that doesn't come with conditions. A yes that doesn't need crowd approval. Just a faithful yes. The kind of yes that moves angels into position. The kind of yes that activates the scroll spoken over your life. The kind of yes that shakes spiritual gates open and causes what was once delayed to be delivered. This is the part of the story where fear must bow, where insecurity must sit down, where second-guessing can no longer be tolerated. You've heard enough. You've seen enough. You've suffered enough to know. The oil on your life is not a theory. It's a truth. You've been chosen. You've been tested. And now, you must move. No more passive belief. No more waiting for external signs. You are the sign. You are the evidence. You are the walking proof that God still breathes purpose into dust. What you carry is too potent to remain hidden. The message has arrived. The instruction hath been sealed. And now, the only ingredient left is obedience. You've spent seasons shrinking yourself, holding back, silencing your own voice to make others comfortable. You over-explained, over-apologized, over-delayed. But this moment demands a different version of you. This moment demands boldness. This moment demands a posture of "Here I am. Lord, send me." The spiritual realm has already shifted in response to the last word you received. And now, the natural must catch up. That only happens when your mouth and your motion align. Speak what you've been shown. Move in what you've been told. Prophecy to your future. Declare your assignment. Stop waiting for applause. Heaven has already validated you. Earth's recognition is a side effect, not a prerequisite. Say it aloud. Even now, I will not miss my moment. I will not hesitate. I will not look back. I am stepping into what has always been mine. Let your own voice break the final layer of hesitation. You don't need another round of confirmation. The next door won't open with a prophecy. It will open with action. Faith without movement is still a closed gate. But obedience, even in the unknown, is the key that opens every divine portal assigned to your name. It is time to declare your alignment. Speak it. Don't just think it. Fight it. Don't just wish it. Move in it. Don't just pray about it. Because the scroll over your life is not activated by intention. It is activated by response. And your response in this very hour is being recorded in heaven. Heaven has said yes. Now it waits on you. You've been entrusted with insight. You've been given divine intelligence. You've been delivered from old cycles. You've been sealed in silence. And now, your obedience is the final switch. The moment your yes is given, everything around you begins to respond. People shift. Doors open. Your sources align. Mentors appear. Conversations unfold. That's how the kingdom operates. It aligns with action. This isn't just for your elevation. This is for the liberation of others attached to your voice. Your yes is not selfish. It is seed. It is spiritual permission for others to rise as well. Your obedience gives others permission to break free. You have no idea how many souls are waiting on you to step fully into who you are. So rise. Speak. Declare. Walk with your shoulders squared and your spirit burning. Let the fire of your assignment consume the doubts that once held you hostage. Let the light of your new identity blind the darkness that used to speak your name with familiarity. That old version of you cannot follow you into this next chapter. That insecure voice, that fearful narrative, that passive posture, they are not allowed in the space where destiny breathes. You are rising because the earth needs you awake. You are moving because heaven is calling you out of the shadows. And the scroll written about you is not symbolic. It is activated. It is alive. And now, it is waiting for your motion. Step now. Speak now. Move now. Not for applause. Not for acceptance. But for alignment. For obedience. For the glory of the one who called you. Type ISAYYES in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 6116 is now activating your destiny. There is a realm beyond sight. Beyond comprehension. Beyond the boundary of your thoughts and the edge of your emotions. In that realm, your name is known. In that dimension, your soul is not just observed, it is active. And while you walk through your day thinking the war is quiet, thinking the silence means nothing is happening, the heavens are alive with exchange. Spiritual transactions are underway. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you rest, divine agreements are being forged. What you haven't seen yet is already in motion. You've been sensing it, haven't you? The stirring behind your dreams. The restlessness when you try to sleep. The feeling that something is shifting, even if you can't explain it. That's not anxiety. That's not random. That's alignment. That's the residue of spiritual movement brushing against your physical reality. Something is happening in the spirit. Something divine. Something unspoken but undeniable. It doesn't announce itself with noise, but it weighs heavy when you enter stillness. Let your soul understand this. There is a silent exchange happening on your behalf. The conversations you cannot hear. The angelic negotiations you are not meant to interrupt. The scrolls being opened in the court of heaven. The justice that is being measured with holy balance. What you thought was stillness was actually sacred secrecy. Because when God begins to handle what you cannot, He does it in silence. And He does it with finality. In the middle of your waiting, heaven was never idle. While you wept, angels were moving. While you wondered, heaven was deciding. While you stayed faithful in your confusion, your name was being whispered in sacred places. Yes, your name. You are not forgotten. You are not just another soul in the crowd. You are known. You are seen. You are deeply recorded in the eternal systems of heaven. And now, those records are speaking. What is happening now is not about your effort. It's about your surrender. You don't have to push this into being. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to force your way into doors that were built with your name already engraved on them. The silent exchange in the spirit realm is proof that heaven does its best work without spectacle. You won't always get a warning before the blessing arrives. Sometimes, it simply falls like rain because your spirit already agreed before your mind caught up. This is why you felt unusual lately. This is why your discernment has increased, why your dreams have intensified, why you feel things before you can explain them. It's not just emotional. It's prophetic sensitivity. You've crossed into a moment of divine agreement. Heaven is transferring what was lost, what was delayed, what was stolen, what was locked up for what felt like too long. And the only reason it's coming now is because you remain postured, still, silent, surrendered. Let this settle in you. You don't have to know everything to receive it. You don't have to understand the process to walk into the promise. God doesn't need your full comprehension to complete His word. What He needs is your posture, and you've given Him that. You didn't walk away. You didn't abandon your altar. You didn't forfeit the oil. And because of that, you've entered the realm of sacred compensation. This moment is deeply spiritual. The exchange is not visible to human eyes, but it is very real. The Spirit of the Lord says, "While they sleep, I deal. While they rest, I release. While they trust, I transfer." Everything you thought was gone, the time, the favor, the opportunities, they are being restored, but not in the way you expected. They're coming back in multiplied form. They're coming back refined. They're coming back restructured to match the evolved version of you. Do not disrupt the holy handoff. This is not the time to panic. This is not the time to revisit the pain. This is not the time to go back and try to explain what you've already outgrown. You are in a holy moment, a sacred hour. If you lean into the stillness, you will begin to feel the weight of the exchange. Heaven is not loud right now, because heaven is working. The warfare didn't silence you. It consecrated you. The silence didn't mean God was absent. It meant He was operating. You've been in a spiritual courtroom, and your silence has been your witness. Your surrender hath been your signature. The verdict is in. The case is closed. The exchange is underway. This is the divine handoff. What was held up is now being handed over. And no demon, no doubt, no delay can interrupt it. Because the seal of heaven has already been broken. And once heaven opens a scroll, it cannot be resealed by man. So be still, beloved. Rest differently tonight. Lay your head down knowing that the Spirit of the Lord is awake and active. That angels are negotiating on your behalf. That what you thought was missing is already making its way to you in silence. Don't question the silence. Honor it. Don't rush to speak, watch to receive. And when it arrives, because it will, you will know. Your spirit will recognize what your eyes have never seen. The confirmation won't need a voice. It will come in a way that your soul simply knows. This was heaven's doing. And it is marvelous in my sight. Type "I receive the exchange" in the comments if you sense this moment. Blessing code 4040 is now flowing through the spirit realm on your behalf. The gavel of heaven has dropped. The time for silence has passed. The time for enduring has matured. The time for observation has given way to divine response. Justice is here, and not just in concept, not just in comfort, but in demonstration. God is no longer merely watching. He is acting. The court of heaven has convened. The books have been opened. And the injustice you thought had been overlooked has now become a target of divine attention. The one who saw it all, the whispered lies, the betrayal behind your back, the losses that nearly shattered you, has risen from his throne and declared, "Enough." You have wondered if God noticed. You have questioned if he would intervene. And yet, while you held your peace, he was preparing his power. While you chose the narrow path of surrender, he was weighing the deeds of others in his divine scale. And now, the scales have begun to tip. The reversal has begun. There is a holy movement coming, not by your hand, but by his. The very weapons that were sharpened against you will now fall dull. The words that were used to discredit you will now turn back on the tongue that released them. The delay that seemed to mock your hope will be swallowed by divine acceleration. The energy used to oppose your destiny will now be redirected toward building the platform God is raising beneath your feet. This is not karma. This is justice. This is not about vengeance. This is vindication. For the Lord your God says, "I am the one who rights wrongs. I am the one who restores what was stolen. I am the one who repays, not according to the system of man, but according to my covenant." You are in a divine moment where heaven is repaying, restoring, and reversing, not out of pity but out of promise. You did not fight back, and that was your strength. You didn't seek revenge, and that was your reward. You didn't stoop to their level, and that was your elevation. Every act of obedience, every moment of restraint, every night you cried but chose peace over petness, it was counted. It was stored in heaven's record, and now it is being poured out as a recompense. Watch closely. Over the coming days, things will begin to flip. The tables will turn without you needing to touch them. The very ones who thought you were finished will start to whisper about how you're rising. The rooms that once excluded you will now need what only you carry. The places you were once removed from will now make space for you. Not because of politics, not because of pressure, but because of divine reversal. You have been tried, and you have been found faithful. And now, the sentence is not punishment. The sentence is promotion. The judge of heaven has ruled on your behalf. The evidence of your pain has spoken, and the ruling is clear. Restore what was stolen, repair what was broken, return what was lost, release what was delayed. Even now, as you hear these words, angels are moving with scrolls marked justice. The oil of restoration is dripping into places you thought were too dried up to revive. Dead opportunities are being resuscitated. Old relationships are either being healed or permanently removed, but either way, they will no longer block your path. What was once a source of heartbreak will now become a marker of glory. What the enemy used to taunt you with will now become a testimony of divine response. God is not ignoring the wrong done to you. He is confronting it. And he is doing so in a way that will bring peace, not just emotionally, but spiritually and circumstantially. Some of you are about to witness people confess. Others will watch as God removes certain voices completely from your path. Others will see complete silence from those who once stirred storms, because the hand of God has silenced them without needing a word from your mouth. Do not interfere. Do not attempt to negotiate the justice of God. This is his work. Let him finish what he started. Your role now is simple. Receive. Receive without guilt. Receive without shrinking. Receive without apologizing for the shift. You didn't orchestrate this. You didn't manipulate it. You simply stood still and obeyed. And now, God is pouring what only obedience can access. And hear this. What is being returned to you will not come back in the same form it left. It will be multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Time, favor, influence, strength, all of it is being returned with interest. What was delayed is now on fast track. What was stolen is now being handed back with greater value. The reversal is not just a correction. It is a reward. If you feel the presence of justice surrounding you, if you sense this word is for you, consider supporting this channel with a super thanks, with contributions of up to $10. Your support helps us continue to speak messages of power, direction, and restoration, and we honor every gift you give. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more prophetic instructions, divine timings, and heaven-breathed revelation. We are building a sanctuary for the chosen, and you are a part of it. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you receive this judgment. Blessing code 8880 is now unlocking justice and restoration in your favor. This has not been just a message. This has been a visitation. A divine whisper passed through time, spoken before the sun could rise, timed before distractions could drown it, and delivered to the exact soul who was ready. You. Yes, you. This word was always meant for you. And now, as the light begins to touch the horizon and the night prepares to release its grip, a holy seal is being placed upon your heart, upon your home, upon your destiny. The angel who came before sunrise is now lifting the scroll. The words have been spoken. The codes have been released. The silence you have honored has activated your protection. The stillness you have kept has become your authority. The obedience you have walked in, even when no one saw, has now shifted something eternal. The blessing is here. The covering is secure. The assignment has been revealed, and the moment has been marked in heaven's record. You did not miss your moment. You did not scroll past this by accident. You were chosen to hear what others will never hear. You were positioned to receive what others will overlook. And now, you are sealed by what you obeyed. This is your final charge. Walk forward in peace, clothed in divine awareness, surrounded by angelic assistance. Nothing about your life is random. Nothing you've endured has been wasted, and nothing that's been promised will be withheld. You are moving forward with clarity, with purpose, and with holy power. This is the hour where heaven says, you are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Declare it with your voice and write it in your spirit. I will not miss my moment. Let the sound of that declaration echo through your atmosphere. Let the enemy hear it. Let your past hear it. Let your future hear it. You are ready. You are covered. You are called. Type I will not miss my moment in the comments if this word was for you. Blessing code 0000 is now sealing you in divine timing and perfect protection. May the God of justice walk before you. May the angels of light surround you. May the spirit of wisdom rest upon you. And may every word spoken before sunrise echo until every promise is fulfilled. Go in peace, chosen one. The message is complete. The moment is now.